it's always been an interest of mine throughout my life, electronics, anything electrical. Of course, my dad is an electrical engineer as well as my brother, but so we always grew up kind of around electric things and making some little fun electric cars and that. But in 2007, I had an opportunity to sell some aviation businesses I had, and had a little time on my hands. I was out cutting my grass with my gas-powered zero-turn mower, and the drives went out on it. One did 1 week, and 2 weeks later the other one went out. So I thought, I just bought a little car to convert it to electric, and I thought, I'm going to do my lawnmower electric before I do that little car I bought. So I went ahead and built a mule. Just basically took a gas-powered one, took everything off of a little zero-turn and put some electric parts, and probably the ugliest thing you ever seen, but it kind of worked. And just started building off of it from there. My son quickly got involved. He's really good at design and with really good with steel. So we started putting together a few prototypes, and the goal was to cut our 5-acre lot, and we had lead acid batteries, and it was heavy, and but we finally got it to a point where with a 700-pound battery pack we could cut our 5 acres. Within a year or two, we discovered lithium batteries, and that was a big turning point for us. We went from being able to mow for 2 hours with a 700-pound battery pack to a lithium pack that we can now mow 7 hours with a 300-pound pack. So everything changed, back in 2011 or so, and we started building more and more of the mowers, and we have a lot of family involvement. My nephew does national sales. Of course, my son's highly involved. We're partners in the business, and even our wives, my wife and his wife are involved. So we build everything just north of Cincinnati. We take a lot of our design from aviation. We use a lot of lightning holes that take weight away in areas where there's no reason for strength. We use a lot of bends. You'll see bends everywhere. That gives tremendous strength without weight. Even our front new suspension is designed after a trailing link landing gear on an airplane. It's the same thing you'll see on a lot of small planes. We even build the chassis. It's bolted together. You're going to see a weld on the front end where the frame meets there, because that's always a twisting point. You're going to have cracks there. So we bolt everything together, and we use what we call box sections in aviation. So we have boxes built everywhere for strength, but it allows everything to flex. So as you're moving along the ground, I'm exaggerating, but everything will flex a little bit instead of being stiff and wanting to break well. We always hear, yeah, I can see where this will be popular in the future. Well, the future is now for us, because it's here and it's working. But obviously, the one advantage is the low noise compared to gas-powered equipment, which you can probably hear in the background right now. But the neat thing is the technology and the batteries are just going to keep getting better. Everything we've done to this point is only going the right direction. It's not going the wrong direction. Of course, autonomous mowers are going to become more and more popular. These machines are obviously prime candidates. They're all electric. Our steering is already drive-by-wire. Everything about these, in the near future, you're going to see these running around with and without operators. Obviously, you're going to need operators in certain situations for a long time, but there's other situations where you're going to start to see a lot more automation. As things improve with all the sensors and everything that you're seeing on new cars, that can be moved over to this technology and just keep making things better. Our electric mowers have what we call the electric advantage, and they are zero emissions, zero fuel or gas, low noise, and low routine maintenance. And those are basically the 4 big selling points. And we see around the country, we take advantage of each of those different advantages. And say on the West Coast, there's more interest in the low emission part of it. And that's been a big driving force on the West Coast and California here. On the far East Coast, the emissions are very important as well, but also the low noise is important. Florida loves the low noise. Everybody's retired down there. Nobody wants to hear the noise. The operators, the owners of these machines love the zero fuel and the low maintenance part of it. So depending on who our audience is at the time, we can bring up these different advantages, and it's pretty easy to determine what'll work best for everyone. The neat thing is the mowers all have a return on investment and actually put money in your pocket compared to a gas one over time. They're all more expensive up front. but over time, over the service life, you actually can almost double your money back on most of these machines. So they're a good investment, but they also create a really good competitive advantage for the landscape contractors that purchase these. A lot of them have customers that are wanting these already, but other ones use these to their advantage to be able to get jobs they could never get before. Now they have something that's quiet and zero emissions, and customers love that.